This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, good morning everyone. Agit Moyed. We're continuing in Mishna Berura Daf Hashavua. We're up to Siman Chaf Aleph, Seif Beis. So far we're doing pretty good. Erev Yom Kippur and Hilchos Tzitzis we learned the laws of putting on a talis Leil Yom Kippur. Yesterday on Sukkos we learned the halachos of an old sukkah. So let's see what today has in store for us. Seif Beis, Talisois Shal Mitzvah Shabalu, an old worn out talis. Adam Boidel Atzme Mehem, a person can separate from them. Ve'enoi muter lekaneach atzme b'hem, you can't wipe yourself with it. V'loi liyachid osam tashna aguna, or designate them to clean the grime in between the chrome of your tires. You throw them and they sort of dissipate. Says the Mishna Berura, Shabalu ayin b'prima gadim shekaz ha'ush shal mitzvah shenifzgut tzitz Yosef lo yasmen mechnasayim to mechlal tashmish meguna v'afilu mitalis katan aser. Don't make. I believe mechnasayim in the Mishna Berura often means undergarments. We had this before. I don't think it means pants, because I don't think anybody's making a pair of pants out of an old pair of a talis. But it means a garment that is in contact in a manner of genai. Ve'enoi muter, you can't wipe. Kein tzarich loymar. I guess there's another gersa. It is muter. What was the wrong gersa? Ve'enoi muter kein tzarich loymar. You're not allowed to wipe. Lekanech v'tzama afilu kanecha timei ragloi. To wipe means even to wipe dirt from your shoe, from your foot. Hameguna, aval she'ena meguna shar, for something which is not meguna is permitted. Let's say, guess you want to clean the windows with it. Sounds like that you could do. Uva'oida tzitzis olav, while the tzitzis are on it, can you use a talis? Can you use a talis for a tashmish she'ena meguna while the tzitzis are on it? Das ha'oilas tamid deshari. The opinion of the Talmud is it's mutter dedafka b'tzitzis aser. Maybe let's say I want to use tzitzis, strings of tzitzis. I want to brush off some dust on my desk. That you can't do. But could I do it with the talis? That's the shaila. Are you allowed to clean your glasses with your talis? The oilas tamid says yes. I've seen b'shem big paiskin that's not considered tashmish, even sheina meguna. But let's see what the Mishna Berura says. Ula taz aser. According to the Taz, it is prohibited to use the talis for any tashmish while the tzitzis are on it. V'chein hiskam prima gadam, because of the talis shel tefila am yuchel lekach tamid hatalis kamay hatzitzis. It depends. There's a chilik between talis gadol and talis katan. The talis of tefillah, which is meyuchad, is like the tzitzis. It's a beged of tefillah. Aval talis katan pshita deshari l'chol tashish en meguna. Talis katan, it's pashud that it's mutter for any tashmish that's not meguna. So let's say you're jogging and you want to wipe the sweat off your brow. In the Dirshu, he brings out the Chazoiner says it's mutter. Reb Chaim Kanievsky explained that this is b'chlal tashmish she'ena meguna. This is what I saw. What about cleaning your glasses with a talis katan? So I would say, what about cleaning glasses with talis gadol? Talis katan, the Mishna Berura just said it's pasha, you're allowed any tasha she'ena meguna. Afilu b'yitzit zolav. I don't see what the shaila is about cleaning glasses with a talis katan. The Mishna Berura just said that a talis katan you could do any tashmish. But they quote from Rabbi Yashev in the Kavitz Chuvas Chel Gavsim and Gemotz Mutter, Kivan Shedech Bnei Adam Lasses Kain Gam Bebeged Chashav. So if that's the case, you should be able to do it with the talis gadol. He brings from the Nefesh David that the Aderes would clean his glasses with a talis while he was learning. But Rabbi Shlomo Zalman said it's not right to do it, not with the talis gadol, not with talis katan, and he holds it's Asr Medina. I don't get the whole thing. Mishna Berura says befeirush that it's mutter. Only talis gadol is like it's a meyuchad to be a beged for tefillah. He says talis katam shita deshari l'chol tashma she'ena maguna. I would say the Mishna Berura says it's pashut, it's mutter with a talis katan. Why Reb Shlomo Zalman says it's aser? I don't understand that. Okay, zarkan, you throw it away. Meaning a talis shel mitzvah that it's worn out, you throw it away. Ratzolim la'ashba. You throw it in the garbage. The Yesh Oimrim in Sif Aleph says that Achar Shenifsiku Ein Linog Be'aminog Bizayin Lizarkim B'Makam Maguna. V'afil Yesh Oimrim now the Oyser B'tzitzis Gufa Mashna D'Moide B'Zeh. It's Mashna that this he would be Moide. Question: in Sif Beis, are the strings on the beged or are the strings not on the beged? I'm assuming they're on the beged. So why wouldn't the Yesh Oimrim say that they should be disposed of in a nice way? It sounds like if you cut off the strings, so now you're dealing only with the strings. So what would you call this item? Tzitzis strings. So there's a deya, there's a Yesh Oimrim. The Ramah says, Ein linog b'aminig bizayon, l'zarkam b'makom maguna. However, if it's a talis, and it's just old, it happens to have strings on it, then it's okay. In other words, why? Question, anybody have an answer to this? Why in Sif Aleph is there a Yesh Oimrim that says you should not throw tzitzah strings into the garbage? And Sif Beis, if it's a talis shel mitzvah, and I'm reading it that the strings are still on it, it doesn't say anywhere the strings are not on it. Why is there no Yesh Oimrim there that you should, that it's aser lizroikam la'ashba? So I mean, they're one of two things. Either you have to say the strings are not on it, or you have to say what I just said, that because when you have a beged, so it's viewed as a beged. It happens to have strings on it. So Taka and Sif Aleph, if you'd be boidel atzmai from the strings, you'd be allowed. There would be no Yesh Oimrim. That's what you want to say? What do you say? Anybody have any? Okay, it's good horror. No, that's the question. The question is, why in Sif Beis is there no Yesh Oimrim? Because it makes a very big nafkamina. Most people don't have separate strings, but many people have old tzitzis that 50 years ago people would have worn for 50 years, and nowadays we get new tzitzis, every so often. So what do you do with your old pair? So the Mechaber says that the Mechaber seemingly would say it's not an issue. The Ramah brings the Yesh Oimrim af la'achar shenifsiku ein linog b'haminog bizayin ela she'enam tzrichim geniza. And if it's balu, unless the difference is because in Sif Aleph they were not balu. It's just you're not using them anymore. So then there's an inyan not to throw them b'makam maguna. But here it's balu. So once it gets worn out, it's not really prime for the mitzvah anymore. So then there's no Yesh Oimrim. That might be the pshat, that it's not worn out over here. Beforehand, you don't want to wear it. Someone else could wear it. So you're not wearing it anymore. Okay, so then don't throw it b'makam maguna. But here it's completely worn out. Also, I think Adam Boidel Atzmai Mehem is not saying one should separate from them. It's saying Adam, a person's Boidel from it. That's the pshat. I think that's the pshat. An old worn out garment, you're Boidel from it. So now it's not prime for the mitzvah anymore. Not prime for the mitzvah, you could throw it in the garbage. Same thing with the lulav. So 1 second, would the same thing apply to a shofar and to tzitzis, to a shofar or a lulav, that if it's worn out, there's no yesh oimrim that says you should not throw it into the garbage? Meaning, is Sif Beis saying that any chefza shel mitzvah that's worn out, there is no yesh oimrim? Or in other words, what we're saying is, we have a very important chakir over here. What's pshat in Sif Beis? Is pshat in Sif Beis that it's not a chefza shel mitzvah, it's a beged, and this would not apply to a lulav, this would not apply to a shofar? Or is pshat in Sif Beis that it's balu, and it would apply to any chefza shel mitzvah? Okay, let's think about it. Tomorrow, let's call it for, we'll call it for 5 to 10, 9:55, okay? So we're on schedule. For next week, we're going to miss 2 days. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the tomorrow. It's a very short page. We'll do the whole page, so that when we come back Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be back on schedule. Okay? Shkoyach everyone. Agit Moyed.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.